Gentlemen, thank you for coming out today. We are Perspective Consulting, and we're here to talk to you about Green Freight Asia. So first of all, we'd like to present our IT solution before we get into the business model. So the IT solution that we created focuses first on the carriers and the shippers, because this is where the data is going to come from. We want to make sure that we're adhering to semi-annual reporting standards, and that we're going to collect this data in order to cleanse it, normalize it, and enter it into our data management system. All of this will exist within a secure network right here in Singapore and delivered to our website and eventually our reporting tool. So what does the database do? Well, first of all, it's going to provide feedback. Providing feedback is going to allow us to network and connect with our subsidiaries and NGOs. It's also going to allow us to network with our partners, leverage those relationships, develop efficiency plans, and show them where they can show carbon offsets. As well, we want to network with consumers. The consumers are the people that are going to help us implement this program by working with organizations such as Amazon. We're going to ensure compliance standards with a pull strategy that works all the way through the supply chain. So let's identify the problem here. The critical issue at hand is that currently we do not understand how to add that value to the end user, be it that they're looking for cost reduction, savings, and efficiency, or carbon offsets. We have to understand that relationship first. And like we discussed, we are going to emphasize a pull strategy working to the end of the supply chain. How does this system work? Again, it's through the data management system. We are going to target all levels of the supply chain, be it the consumers, be it the shippers and the carriers, or the truckers themselves. So why are you going to choose us, Perspective Consulting, to provide this solution? Well, first of all, we work on a pro bono basis, because what we're looking to do is leverage the solution into future relationships with your partners. We're also looking at a co-development strategy. We want to work with you and have you work with us. The experience that we gain from this is going to be invaluable in our future development. As well as we're looking at a holistic approach, an integrated strategy. And we do possess the experience necessary. So in terms of our partnerships, which we'll go into further as well, we want to show that the partnerships are the primary driver of this. A priority to the network. The reason, again, we're here is in access to who you know within the network, be it Amazon, the other consumers, your organizations as a whole. We are also willing, like we said, to do a 1-year pro bono consult. And finally, we are just looking for an ink to break even. This is going to be an out-of-pocket expense for us. We're not looking to monetize this. We're looking to just recoup our costs through the process. But to go further into the funding methods, I'm going to pass it off to Vishal.
Thank you so much. So just to touch base on the funding as well, this infrastructure is not easy to implement. With the current members already enrolled in the Green Freight Asia initiative, there are about 7 partners. That's an immediate influx of $10,000 per partner. Yes, partners have to pay. But we would introduce a new revenue stream of being able to add an incremental increase, because we believe that the larger the company and the scale, they can benefit significantly more with the solution. So the $70,000 saves as a very basic foundation for the organization, but being that the organization is founded in Singapore, communicate with the government to be able to see these are the initiatives, these are our goals to lower CO2 standards, mutually beneficial, and leverage the grants that are available, such as the IES grant, which this initiative is completely within the scope for and can amount to approximately $2 million.
What's the IES?
It's the IES. It's for initiating any CO2 waste management or any waste reduction programs within Singapore. It is open from the beginning of 2013 to, it says TBA, but the platform is available right now. And again, it fits within the parameters of GFA. So the direct question that we're asked in the communication that was provided, we wanted to actually clearly outline before we get into the key issues. So the issues of data verification, value-adding process, intellectual property, and security will be addressed very thoroughly and very quickly. So the key issue is there is a need for this program. The climate change is detrimental to our world. This is a triple bottom line. People are not just concerned about profits. In the short run, yes, but in the long run, people, profits, planet. So that being able to control the carbon footprint we can reduce to is priority number one. To be able to calculate and measure and compile the data to create best practices should be the initiative, which GFA is right on track for. The framework that's provided is to have a goal. The framework for GFA is to be within the parameters of this framework. So have the goal, define the rules, create a feedback system, and ensure that there's voluntary participation within the free market. Do not initiate programs that are outside of preset goals, defined rules, feedback systems, and interfere with any of it, because there could be potential scope creeps and could dilute the data that's collected. So I'm going to continue with the partnership, and I'll pass it off to the actually.
Thank you, Rochelle. So this program can only be successful with your commitment. Our partnership commitment requires that you, as Infineon, Lenovo, HP, DHL, make a commitment that by 2015, at least half of your supply chain adheres to the 3 Green Leaf standard. This sets the benchmark going forward. You become the benchmark for everyone, and you become a role model. By 2017, let's make that 75% of your supply chain and 4 Green Leaf standard. As we move on now to our prospective value proposition, why us? Once again, going off what Jason mentioned earlier, it's the holistic and sustainable growth that we provide. We provide you an end-to-end solution. We will take care of everything that is required for this process to go. The Green Label program, the setup, and the maintenance, the day-to-day operations. In addition, we will always handle the solutions, the solution aspects, so vendor management, as well as looking at the data assets, so security management. If we can't do it, maybe outsourcing it, and identifying data companies that will do it for you. And compliance. Compliance is a key issue here. Security and compliance for the data that your competitor, that suppliers are providing us, needs to be secure. Now, the data verification process is important in this program because data must be accurate for us to give good recommendations. And because of this, we will outsource this to a local company, LRQA. LRQA will not only do IT audits, but it will also do physical audits to ensure the strictest accuracy of our information. Now, let's go back to our value-added analysis. Why do shippers want to be on part of this? Well, it's because they have supply chain efficiency throughout the program. Not just the ships, but the truckers are on board. And why are they on board? Because there's cost reduction for them. Our solution provides vehicle-level solutions that allow these truckers to look at how perhaps putting an air filter, replacing the tires, can cut emissions down by 9%. How much does that actually end up saving them over time? We also look at the value to the consumer, their transparency, the cause and effect. You're transparent to your customer now. Now, IP is where I'll let Jason come in.
Can I just ask a quick question
Sure.
on using LRQA? What do you see as the key challenges of using such a
For outsourcing with us, we will have a vendor management staff. This is not going to be you deal with a problem, tell us when it's done. We want to ensure that this is a mutual agreement. LRQA was picked because they are the largest. They are strictly the best in their class. We do not have that expertise. And because of this, we want to make sure that you get the best solution possible.
But do you see LRQA, would that be who would you see being audited or managed by LRQA? Everybody?
Sorry?
Who would absorb the cost of
So,
LRQA?
we have considered the cost of, usually it would be management. But because, once again, we want to give you the peace of mind, we will take that cost. And once again, it's because our program is self-sustainable. If our data is more accurate, that means more people are signing up. That means more revenue is coming in, and more people, and more recognition for your own brand.
Okay. So talking about intellectual property, what we're looking at are potential monetization of perhaps our logo and our brand. So with the logo of GFA, as well as the Greenleaf system, is can we monetize this? Can we produce a system where this is going to generate revenue downstream? We could look at putting this on partner websites. we look at the Green Leaf Initiative standard as a whole. But we also got to understand the risks with this as well, because there are certain mitigation factors that we may not have the right partners in place using our brand, or they may be using it without our permission. However, based on the website tool that we have provided, other partners and consumers will be able to look up the partners that we work with to understand who are within our compliance standards.
Thank you, Jason. So once again, going back to privacy. DHL, UPS, both of them are suppliers that will provide the information. Now, your CEO is part of DHL. There's a conflict of interest there. And this is why we give the data to a third-party neutral body that takes care of all the data, make sure it is compliant. And make sure that it is compliant with all the standards, make sure that it is accurate. And because of this, not only are we the neutral body, we also have the peace of mind of our suppliers. They don't have to worry about, oh, perhaps DHL will take a look into my costs. We want to make sure that this process is accurate, it is fair, and it gives the peace of mind to not only you, but the suppliers. Now I'll pass it over to Vishal.
So just to, again, review the opportunity that GFA has as an organization. Yes, the goal is within 1 year for 200 companies and 10 countries by 2016. However, let's step back for a minute and look at the impact that we can create globally. We can reduce CO2 emissions drastically by being able to share information accurately and effectively. There are organizations already in play in a smart way in the States, which is a government body. We have the Green Freight Europe, who's already sharing a similar infrastructure. So we propose that a potential timeline could be an amalgamation of the GFE Smart Freight Center that's in the Netherlands and GFA in the year January 2017.